Okay. Record. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Global Leadership Challenge. I have my co-host partner, Coach Janine, in the room, and I have Dr. Carmela here. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us. Glad to be here.
Glad to be here. Day 3.
Yeah, day 3, yes. Yeah, today is day 3 of our Global Leadership Challenge. We had on our first day, we had Dr. Sandy and we had Coach Nancy. They talked about self-care and execution, and we had a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then on yesterday, we had Dr. It's not Doctor. What is her name? Wendy.
Coach Wendy.
Coach Wendy. Coach Wendy. Global Leadership. And today we have Dr. Carmela. So, Coach Janine, you want to recap on some of the things we talked about?
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm going to also welcome our French viewers so they can be able to know what we've been doing since day 1 on the challenge. So I'm very excited to be here again and to have Dr. Carmela. Always a blessing to be in her presence. She's always give us good nuggets. And really, we enjoy her presence. But from day 1, from what I really gathered from Dr. Sandy and Coach Nancy, was really about talking about servant leader, how we can be able to also have our own personal care, especially self-care plan. Like we always give, but we never stopped as a servant leader that we can be able to have a self-care plan about our life, our self-care plan about our family, our personal goals, our, also our professional goals, and specifically spiritual goals. That's another thing, to just have some time to sit down, and so he can download everything he wants to download in you as a leader. So that was amazing from Coach Nancy. We also talked about Dr. Sandy. She was telling us about how you can be able to be an intentional servant leader. So that was a very good nugget that I took away. And yesterday too, with Coach Wendy, she was talking about her life, how she went to Dubai and being there for many years now. She didn't know anybody, and that was just she really nurtured a relationship, but it's because she was open to give first. That was the really big lesson. Give first, and then other things gonna be opening up, other doors gonna be. So it was really the power of connection. So I kind of really relate on that. So that was a very good nugget. J'espère que vous vous reconnaissez. Merci beaucoup de se connecter à nous encore aujourd'hui. Je suis Coach Janine avec Coach Tina. Et puis nous avons aussi notre invité de ce soir, c'est Dr. Carmela. Aujourd'hui, nous allons aussi parler d'elle. Nous avons commencé depuis le premier jour, c'était vendredi, samedi, et puis aujourd'hui, c'est le 3e jour. Nous avons parlé avec Dr. Sandy et puis avec Coach Nancy, avec aussi Coach Wendy hier. Nous avons parlé par rapport aux leaders qui sont vraiment attentionnés et qui veulent vraiment changer leur conception, parce que c'est très important de prendre le temps de réfléchir, de faire aussi cette réalisation que nous sommes là pour conduire les gens, mais le plus important, c'est surtout s'asseoir avec le Seigneur, comme ça, il pourra télécharger tout ce qu'il a pour nous. Donc, nous bénissons les Seigneurs pour ça, en tout cas. Et j'espère qu'aujourd'hui, vous allez encore être là avec nous. Nous allons encore écouter aussi tous les panélistes qui vont nous parler ce soir jusqu'au mardi. So, n'hésitez pas, invitez en tout cas vos familles, vos amis, et nous allons encore vous connecter ce soir. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, guys. Back to you, Coach Tina.
Yes, hi, Dr. Sandy.
Hello, ladies. Hi, everyone. Hi, Dr. Carmela. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Dr. Sandy?
Hi, Dr. Coach, Coach Janine, and Coach, Tina. My brain. Hi, everybody. Yes.
And how you?
Good.
Good. Also, so we're gonna start out with Dr. Carmela. I'll give the floor to you.
Yeah, so I am super excited to be part of this Global Leadership Challenge. And thank you for the invitation, Coach Janine, Tina. And I'm excited also to meet up with Dr. Sandy again. I don't know if you remember me, but I was also part of one of your programs a couple of years ago, maybe. Um, but I am thrilled to be here and to talk a little bit about leadership. And the reality of the matter is that I know a lot of times we don't believe that we are leaders. And I'm here to say that we are all leaders. Some of us have elected position in leadership. Some of us have appointed position in leadership. Some of us have chosen to be leaders in our own companies, and or others have chosen us to lead their companies. Regardless of what it is, if you have a family, you are leading in that family. If you are in a community in some way, you are also leading in that community. Why do I say so? Because leadership is an influential relationship that you have with someone. So if you are connected to someone, there is a give and take of leadership in that relationship, right? And as we begin to look at that relationship, there's a couple of things I want to just kind of touch on as well. The first part is to understand that if we are leading people, if we say we are leading people, and we have teams that are around us, and we have individuals that we are influencing, there must be a strategy to it in some way, right? And if we are talking about servant leadership, then we begin to understand that this is not just any kind of leadership. It's not the kind of leadership that I'm the boss and no matter what, and whatever I say is what goes. And you got to do what I say because I happen to be the boss, whether I'm right or not, right? But servant leadership is different because it is leading by example. And if it has biblical underpinnings, somebody who has studied and taught leadership for more than a decade, it is about understanding that there are different approaches to leadership, but the servant leadership approach is one that has biblical underpinnings. What do you mean by that, Dr. Carmela? Well, I mean that it comes from the Bible. There's a verse that says, but the Son of Man did not come to be ministered unto, but to minister, and then to give his life, right? So servant leadership people, or people who come from the orientation of servant leadership, don't expect to be coddled, put on a pedestal, or catered to, but they know, recognize, and understand that rolling up their sleeves, working among the people, helping the people, serving the people, by making sure that we're taking care of their needs, giving them the resources that are necessary for them to be effective in what they're doing, and what the vision is for that company, for the group, for the community that we're working with, and making sure that we have created ways to support them and to develop them in the ways that they need, because we know that everybody is not the same level in terms of their development. And if that is the case, then the best servant leader understands that and talks to certain people in one way and talks to other people in another way. Now, why would that be? Why don't they have the same message for everybody? Well, they do, actually, but it is how that message is portrayed and spoken to them because of their level of expertise. So if somebody does not know what to do and never has done it before, you have to tell them, do this, do that, do the other. If you have someone who's been in the game for a long time and they understand what needs to be done. You can just say, please take care of this for me, and they know to take the ball and run with it. You don't have to tell them step by step what to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In terms of what I'm saying, it is understanding who it is that you are dealing with. And then when you understand who it is that you're dealing with, then you are able to communicate the same message in a different way, because they understand or need the support and the coaching in a different way. Now, if you are leading, and I'm trying to kind of pay attention to some of the things I want to get in the time I have, right? Yeah. And it is about understanding that with leadership comes stress and pressure. And I know you talked about self-care, and that is so critically important, because if you are the person who is the leader in the business, everybody's looking at you, right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't manage your stress well, guess what? Your teams are not going to manage your stress well. The staff is not going to manage their stress well, because you set the tone for what it is that you bring to the table as a leader, and for the kind of company and culture that you want in your organization, right? And the best way to lead, many people will say it very glibly, is to lead from your overflow, right? Mm-hmm. But you cannot lead from that overflow if, for example, you're exhausted, you haven't slept, you have 50 decisions to make, and you haven't yet made one because you're paralyzed in indecision. You're stressed out because people are calling you for new plans and programs. People are calling you for the budget. People are calling you for everything, because, you know, as entrepreneurs, you wear all the hats, right? Unless we have assembled a team around us. That results in stress. And I have been talking recently about burnout, and that is a form of stress, right? Mm-hmm. Based on the challenges of the organization. It's mostly work-related, and the data tells us that it is almost a silent epidemic, right? If more than 70% of people suffer, or say, based on surveys, that they suffer from some form of burnout, which means that they may be feeling stressed out, depressed, overwhelmed, overworked. There's lots of causes for it. But what I would like to share today is some responses to stress, right? What can we do as individual leaders when we feel stressed out? Right? Yeah. A couple of practical things. One is to breathe. I remember a time where there was someone I was working with, and she was all stressed out, and she was running around and complaining and fussing and carrying on. And I said to her, you just need to breathe. Take a minute. Yeah. Breathe. Because breathing lowers the blood pressure, it slows down the heart rate, it gives you clarity, makes your mind come back into order, so you can then think and create and be who you need to be as the leader. Because yes, they're pulling at you from all levels as well. It is about taking tech detoxes, which some of us struggle with. And by that, I mean you unplug from technology. Some of us, the phones are on 24 hours a day. And yes, I get it. I'm one of the people who used to be on call 24 hours a day and have been woken up in the middle of the night to answer life and death questions. And if I couldn't handle it, then I had to pass it on to the physician that was in charge. But he always made sure that I had covered all of the bases before I called him, right? Yeah. So I understand that piece of it, but I also understand the value physically and mentally and the impact emotionally if we cannot or do not regularly detox from technology by just turning it off, right? Yes. They say there are rays that come at you from the computer that we don't yet know all that it does to us, right? Yeah. But it also helps us not to sleep well, right? Because of the light and because of the rays and so on. So it's good to take a little detox here and there. If you are working in a place that is high stress, a place that has a lot of noise, then we also need to understand that noise makes you tense up. And I have also worked in places where I am working and everything is going well, but when the noise stops, because guess what? Even machines need a break. The noise stops, and I find myself going, because I relax because the noise is gone. And I didn't realize how much that noise was giving me tension in my body. So you have the opportunity to do progressive muscle relaxation as well, where you tighten your fists and you let them go. You tighten your shoulders and you let them go. You tighten your muscles, and you can work all the way down from the head to the toe to give yourself the ability to consciously relax muscles that are tense. And then at the end of the day, and I will wrap with this little piece here, it is about having good, honest relationships. Authenticity has value, and vulnerability has power. And if we are open and vulnerable to the people that we work with, that we can say, listen, I don't really know this answer. Can you get it for me? Or does anybody know? I need this resource. Can you research that for me and bring it back to me so I can work together? If I need help, I'm feeling out of it today, or I'm feeling overwhelmed today, or I'm feeling depressed today, and then they can help you. It is that authenticity and vulnerability as a servant leader that lets them know that you are human, that lets them know that you do actually get tired, and that you need support. So supportive relationships become something that is very, very critical for your success as a leader. And I also wanted to say one last thing, and that is, what do we do with the stress and the pressure, right? And I have learned over time from my experience that when you feel like you're under stress and pressure, it is the point in your life, in your career, in your personal growth and development that you are being stretched, that you're being expanded, that you are evolving into the person that you need to become to be the best leader, servant leader, team leader, director that you need to be, right? As CEOs of our companies, we are stretched all the time, right? And so as we stretch ourselves, we also learn to understand, to embrace the pressure. Pressure is not a bad thing, right? It's how we respond to that pressure that makes the difference. Why do I say pressure is not a bad thing? Think of roses that are crushed to give you perfume. Think of olives that are crushed to give you olive oil. Think of butterflies where the caterpillar is squeezed through the cocoon. But if you don't let them squeeze through the cocoon, they don't have the wings to create the beautiful butterfly that we so love to go watch or let sit on our fingers and stuff like that. So it's a transformative process that we are talking about, not to mention the diamonds, right? I would say diamonds are a girl's best friend. I didn't make that up. I know people say it all the time, but diamonds are made of thousands of years of pressure on carbon. And the longer they have been pressured and the more they have been pressured, they come into this clarity and beauty that creates a huge value that people pay millions of dollars for. So the point that I'm trying to make is pressure is not a bad thing. It's what we do with the pressure. And my call to you is that you learn to embrace the pressure. You learn to stop and slow down that pressure, because it happens on a hill, right? Everybody who is a little bit stressed performs a little better, right? If you're not nervous before you do something, people will say, I don't know what's going on with you, right? So we start out at a place where we don't have stress, but then we're not performing. But as the performance is required, we climb a little hill. right? So the stress becomes more, and I climb a little bit more. I challenge my function. I challenge my ability to do things. I challenge my ability to think fast on my feet and so on. But when I get to the top of that hill, if I don't bring in resources to help me or things to relieve my stress, I begin to go down that hill into things like physical illnesses, depression, stressed out, overwhelmed, the burnout that I talked about. So there comes a point in that curve that we have to pay attention to. And that's the call I have for you today. The reality of the matter is that all of us will have stress. Stress is not going anywhere. It hangs out in the corner of every leader's office. It's not going anywhere, folks. But the good part about stress is that you can look it in the face. You can respond to it even in the moment. Sometimes it's just to get up and go take a walk for 5 minutes, stand outside, take a few deep breaths, and come right back in. If you cannot do that in the meeting, you might be able to just stop and take a deep breath and allow yourself to refocus on what it is you're doing. So simple things can get you. A sip of water from a crystal glass, for example, can help you de-stress as well. So I'm gonna pause here and thank you for the opportunity and to share this little space and to talk about the need for being able to relieve our stress in the moment. And if we cannot do it in the moment, then we have to have planned moments where the self-care and so on comes in, where we specifically address the stress that we may feel, whether it is through journaling, whether it is through thinking through things, writing things down, planning for things, taking care of our bodies, treating ourselves right. Those are all stress relievers and things that diminish the stress in our body so we can be refueled and serve people from overflow and not from empty.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I think we have Dr. Tammy. Hi, how are you?
Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing?
Hello.
Yes, we want to thank Dr. Carmela, and now we're going to give the floor to you.
To me.
Yeah, to you.
Just wanted to make sure Sandy had her time. I know she was here. Awesome. So, hello, everyone. I am Dr. Tammy. I am a strategist, consultant, author, speaker. I help you move in the direction of more and prepare for what's next. And I do that in many ways, but one of them is the reason we're here today. And that's for inspiration and encouragement and giving you the tools and the strategies you need to be a leader. And to be a leader globally. So I don't know if I'm supposed to go into my things right now. Okay. Yeah. Or just an introduction. So so one thing I would say is I always start with these two things. And I tell you, Dr. Nanton, I hope I'm saying that correctly.
That's correct.
That was awesome. I like that, pressured. Which had me thinking, and because I always talk to my leaders and those that I work with about two things: self-awareness and resistance. Yeah. So many people think about self-awareness. And I think when you're a leader, you have to maintain some sort of self-awareness, that grounding, staying centered, because if you don't, you'll get lost and there's so many naysayers, right, out there that don't understand your vision. And so I always tell people you have to be self-aware, but many people have not a complete definition of self-awareness. Most people think self-awareness is about what I like, what I don't like, and just that. But self-awareness is a little bit deeper than that. It's our ability to understand how we impact others. Yes. And if you're a servant leader and you're serving others, you must be clear about your impact on others. and those things that you're offering, products, services, whatever you're offering, how that impacts others. And that will help guide you and keep you focused. But the other side of that is resistance, because when you are self-aware and you know what you want and you're going for it and you know what would benefit those that you're serving, sometimes you get resistance, and sometimes it's from yourself.
Yes.
Resistance is internal.
Yes.
Many people think resistance is, okay, I don't have enough money, I don't have this, or this is coming away. You know, we can talk about what that is later on another call. But really, resistance is internal. And you kind of know what that is. If you ever had that feeling where we've been talking about stress and that, and feeling those things, you feel it in your chest or you feel it in your belly, or what my mom likes to say, your gut. You feel it right down in there, like that deep, right? You feel that feeling. And sometimes that stops you from doing those things that you want to do.
That's right.
Because resistance is internal. We don't think about it being those things: fear, procrastination. Guilty. Look, let me put myself out there. Let me just tell my story. When I know that there's something that I'm not clear on, something that is unsettling in a way that is keeping me from doing what I know that I'm meant to do, procrastination sets in for me, because I just put it off. There's a deadline, and then there's a last minute, because there's something about it. And it could be just something that's innocuous, that's not even harmful. It's just something about it is within me. And sometimes that's fear of success. People think it's a fear of failure all the time, but sometimes it's fear of success, because you know what you're doing is going to do the thing that you wanted to do, that God has put on your heart to do, and it's going to happen. And when you claim that and you own that, you know something's going to happen. So as entrepreneurs, you experience resistance a lot. And it comes from internally. So you have to be aware of it, so then you can get to your vision. And I always talk about vision. You've got to keep the vision in mind. You've got to write that down. You've got to refer to it. I like to have a vision collage, because my wall is not always next to me, but I know some people do vision boards. We're coming up on a new year. Hey, and I know that's going to be popular. But I like to do a vision collage. Sometimes it's words, sometimes it's my stick figure art. Sometimes it's actually photos from magazines, and I want to get, really just creative and just do some, talking about stress, something that de-stresses me, and just doing some basic, what we did in elementary, right? Back when we were little kids, doing some of that. But either way, write it down. Write it down. When you write it down, make it plain, right? We've heard that. And so we know that. And so I think that you must have a vision, and your vision should be connected to your purpose.
Yes.
And your purpose is, these are the two things that the foundation of everything I do is purpose, and doing those things which are aligned with your purpose. And a lot of that work, we can't do it in this 2 minutes I have left. However, think about what it is that you love, what it is the world needs, what it is you're good at, and think about those things and how they intersect, right? Our vocation, our profession, our mission, all of those things. How do they connect? And think about what that is. And that's your purpose. That's your reason for being. And that's what you hang on to. And everything you do, whether you say yes to something or you say no to something, you say yes or no to it because it's that. Because distractions will happen.
Yes, they will.
They will come as an entrepreneur. There's shiny objects. You'll be working on this. You're trying to launch this or that. And then you'll see something, or you'll witness someone else success on something. You're like, oh, and then you'll have this idea. Write it down. First of all, don't lose it, because you can use it. But two, you've got to be careful and make sure that it's aligned with your purpose in that moment. And it will evolve. And our purposes evolve as we get older. I know mine has evolved and changed through life. When life is lifing, as they say, and things happen, that changes. And so I know that it will, but at the moment, to really stay focused and stay on track with what you're meant to do and how you're meant to impact others, is to make sure that you're in alignment with who you are and where you're going.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna pause there.
Okay, Dr. Sandy.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I was just really taking notes. Oh my. Dr. Camilla and Dr. Tammy, I'm telling you, so much in sync, y'all. Don't you think?
Yes.
I just want to
Yes.
recap and our audience tonight, as this is that leadership challenge. This is for you and this is for us as well, because I think we can bounce off of each other, take those nuggets that we have from each other. One of the things, Dr. Tammy, what you just said is about that thing. And I want to speak to us in a reference. What is that thing? And oftentimes as leaders, is that we make long plans. Dr. Tammy talked about the vision board and keeping your vision before you. I like that idea because we don't want to set ourselves up for failure. I talk about transformation, having a positive transformation that leads to a positive result. And whenever Dr. Camilla was talking about that servant leadership, here comes Dr. Tammy right behind it. Servant leadership. That's what we are, especially if we follow the biblical principles. And that as a leader, we're in the marketplace as an entrepreneur or leaders in the C-suite, we're leaders, managers. And let's say you're in an everyday 9-to-5, brick and mortar. You may be a leader in say in the education, you may be in leadership in retail. Regardless, I love what both of these ladies are saying. It is that one, everyone is not on the same level.
That's right.
And we must be okay with that. And if you see that you are wanting to strive to go to another level, find out what will it take. Have a mentor. Don't be afraid to open your mouth and ask someone. And I believe that we as believers, God, lead me to someone that has the gift and talents and the results that I would like to achieve.
Yes.
And have that conversation. Have the conversation. Be up as we don't want to keep our mouths closed this new season, guys. That's coming up. So we as leaders, and I say that humbly, because I sit before these two women, all of these women here, and of their amazing achievements, and and sometimes fear, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you have nothing to contribute. Well, that's not true.
It's not true.
You have what it takes.
Yes.
And so when we talk about the resistance internal, I believe Dr. Tammy spoke about that. The fear, procrastination, but I want to back up to the fear part. The fear that, they're going to look at me, or if I open my mouth, I may say the wrong thing. Listen. Just relax, take a deep breather, and know that you belong in the room. You belong in the room. Having, doing transformation is really, as they say, that thing that God has given me. I looked at what it is in Romans 12:2, where it says, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so many times we've looked at that, and what happens is that you as a leader is that you want to be relatable. I love this, that as a servant, we know we got to roll up our sleeves. I give always the testimony that when I became a minister, and in my mind, I knew God was calling me to minister, and I had the road vision, the whole 9, the stilettos and everything, y'all. And God said, now you're going to be in your jeans and your sneakers, and you're going to go to county jail is where you're going to go and teach the ladies incarcerated. And so when I heard the call to do that, when my bishop says, listen, we're going back to jail and prison ministry, it was like, oh man, it was like explosion went in my spirit. I was like, oh God, where is this coming from? And I was excited. I didn't waste any time putting in my application so that I could get approved, because you have to go through all of those steps because you go in before the county and the government, because we have to obey all the laws of the land. So whenever everything came back, which I knew it would, and it says, yes, would you like to get on the schedule? And I was like, okay, I actually can do this. And it has been that when we step out And that purpose that Dr. Tina talked about, that purpose, God's purpose. I love the fact that whenever we go, this is the end of the year. Please take a moment. My grandson just put something in the microwave. So take that time as leaders. I would love for you to take that time for that self-care. Take a few weeks, day, whatever, and just let the Lord minister to your spirit as a leader, because budgets are coming, responsibilities are coming, tasks are coming through, new staff members or exchanges. Or even, if you're in that retail business, we coming to shop, okay? And you got your team, you got to keep them pepped up and the whole nine. And so, we're talking to all levels of leadership. And we recognize to be kind whenever, say, you're not in the fancy suit. People are really not doing the fancy suits anymore. They're in business casual. But when we go into the retail place and we go to the restaurants, let's be kind. And you're in this season of self-care and self-aware. So we're going to rock 2024. You're going to be amazing. You're going to be amazing. That's why we have this challenge. Coach Tina is getting us ready. Yes. And Coach Janine is getting us ready. And all of these ladies, we want you to take this challenge, which you are. You're taking it serious. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being here. You're investing in your time. I am Dr. Sandy Sanders, and I'm gonna, this is it.
Okay, Coach Janine.
And y'all know how we do on Clubhouse. We say,
well,
and I turn off the mic. Kill it.
Thank you, ladies. This was amazing. I'm just listening, absorbing everything. I'm taking notes as well. Thank you so much, Dr. Camilla, Dr. Tammy. Thank you, sis. You always show up. I bless God for you and all the lady, Coach Tina, Dr. Sandy. One thing it really keep coming into my spirit, really, since we started talking about, is being an intentional leader, servant leader. This is one thing. So ladies, people who are listening to us, who will be listening also as a replay, make sure that you take time to listen and to even to listen again over since from day 1 until day 3 today, because what Dr. Tammy and also Dr. Camilla just mentioned tonight, it's very, very important for you to really relax and take time so that can resonate with you, and make sure in 2024 you learn how to delegate as well.
That's right.
Because you cannot keep going like that, because you need to sit down and really map out your year. That's one thing that we really, one of the tools that Dr. Tammy was talking about, strategy. And you need to map out and really sit down and know how to delegate. There are some of the things you used to do in 2023, you won't be doing in 2024.
No.
So you can be able, to have more quality time with the Lord, like I said, so God can be able to download new, fresh assignments, new strategy. So you need to make sure that you have the time for that. So if you did not listen to anything else tonight, that we want to remind you, make sure you sit down and, make time for you. That's also it's also among the things that you have to do as a self care, that you need to make sure for you and for your team, because you all need to make sure that you delegate, you take some very few things that you used to enjoy and doing it. Maybe in 2024 you don't have to do them anymore. So that's one of our few things, our takeaway lesson for tonight. For day 3, we want you to make sure that as a servant leader, you're doing that for you, you're doing that for your team, for your family, for your mission, everything surrounding you. Make sure that you really see how you do an assessment for yourself and for everything else for 2023, and we're going in 2024. Then you don't have to continue on guessing, because that's what we don't want you to do. Keep guessing or keep down yourself and say, well, I'm not enough. This is not for me. All of that stuff, because you need to see that. And He's already downloaded so many things in you, and you just have to execute. For me, that's my word for 2024: execution. It's a year of execution. So I hope that tonight, you are taking some notes, and from Dr. Temi, Dr. Sandy, and Dr. Camilla. Thank you so much, Coach Tina and I. We really thank you, ladies. But also, we want you guys to continue to embrace what you've been, receiving in this, few days that we have 2 more left. We have an amazing speakers coming tomorrow and also Tuesday. But we want you to learn and to execute all of this stuff, all the things that God been downloading in you and what you have here all this long, being intentional. That's what we want you to be. So, Coach Tina, back to you, and then we're going to wrap up.
Okay, yes. So I was going to start with Dr. Camilla. She talked about stress, and we as business leaders coming at the end of the year, a lot of us are stressed out because we got to get things done before the year wraps up. So these techniques she gave you can help relax you some, or help you prepare to end the year out strong.
That's right.
And so Dr. Tammy, she talked about being making a plan. I always talk about that, making a plan, making it plain, because if you actually, even to the end of the year, you already should have that plan already written out. But if you're not, you hadn't or haven't done it yet, start now.
Yeah.
Start now. Make that plan plain, so when you go into next year, you're ready. And you already putting the steps in to make the year strong. And then Dr. Sandy, she talked about being self-care and talking about different levels of leadership that we're in and the steps that we need to take. We just got a lot to do for this end of this year is over. We got how many more days? I don't remember. But we got to the end of the year, and then we got the
27.
28.
You got some days there.
Got some days. So you got some time to do some work. And hopefully this challenge will help you get started on that work.
Yes.
And then we have Coach Janine talking about being intentional.
Yes.
We need to be intentional about our business and God's business.
Right.
So we put those two together, we can't help but win.
That's right.
Can't help but win. So that's all I have.
Wonderful.
So I would like each one of you ladies to have tell us a little bit about something that you might have going on that you want to share with the group, share with the audience. You can do that at this time.
All right. Well, So I have been focusing. My name is Dr. Carmela Nanton. I'm a leadership and executive coach. And yes, I'm award-winning author on women's leadership, The Hardwired to Lead. And also I am an experiential trainer. And so I have a mini course coming up, and it has a free guidebook, and the title of it is Success Without the Stress. And so I show you a little cup. That's just one of the things we have. One of the recommendations I give is a little journal, and you have a journal that you can have, but the point is to provide you 30 different stress relief mechanisms and methods that somebody can use to be able to move through life, achieve the success, particularly for women who have all these myriad responsibilities. It is a reminder, 30 days of things that you can do to have success without the stress. And if you didn't put a connection, but the guide is free through the end of the year. And so if you connect with me, you can get the guide, and then you have access to the swag as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Tammy.
So I have a lot going on, as always. But I will say that one thing that I like to do is I really like to help you move in the direction of more, and whatever that is. So setting goals and creating an action plan and monetize your purpose. But let me get it on the right side here. Over here, Reek Moore, is one of my books, and it has quotes in there. This is volume 1. Volume 2 is what I'm working on now that I'm hoping to be launching very soon. My goal is before the end of the year. So this is going to be a different kind of launch. It's not going to have all the lead in and all the stuff. It's just, I got the word. It said, do it now. So I'm doing it now, and I'm getting it finished because I've been working on it. But, and so one of the quotes in this one is never negotiate your next. So I want to leave that with you. Never negotiate your next. If you know your gift, don't negotiate how you use it and how you share it. If you know what's next for you, don't negotiate your to-do list or the task, all the things that people have been saying today, you need to do to get there. You have been given your gift because it has been designed and designated for you.
Absolutely.
So it is uniquely yours. No one else can do it with it what you can. So lean all the way in and go all the way. Don't stop, don't change, don't deny it, don't delay how you serve. So that's what I want to leave you. Never negotiate your next. Y'all go, 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 go. We look forward to seeing how you lead in 2024.
Yes. Dr. Sandy.
I love it. Well, as those of you that do follow us on a social media platform, on YouTube as well as Facebook, it is the Coffee Conversation platform where we host quarterly book tours, as well as we interview authors, anthology book projects. And we're about to embark on our 4th quarter, the last tour of the year. And God gave me a plan, and the plan is coaches who are authors. We are super, super excited that Coach Janine and Coach Tina are our media partners. We will be kicking off on Friday, which is December the 9th. I have to get it all wrapped up in my head, is that we do not want to wait until 2024. So get ready. Don't wait. Start thinking about your transformational moment, how you want to look and navigate your spiritual life, your personal life, your business, and your health. Coaches who are author tour. There are some amazing authors and coaches that are on the tour. Dr. Tina Ramsey will be kicking off next Friday night, Lord willing. On Friday night, she will be coming along with, Coach Judy Abrams James, who is a coach for individuals that are a disability. We're going to have a plethora of authors throughout the day. And if you are interested, I would even like to open up an invitation at no cost to the 2 women that are on the panel with us on tonight. Just simply provide me with either 30-second, we'll do a 30-second, 20-second, or we'll work that out. But I would love for you to virtually participate, because I know that the timeline is, but yes, you all look out for it. We've already put it out. Karen Crockett Cherry is going to be as well. She'll be wrapping it up. She's a sponsor, K Connections, which is, as you know, she's a collaborator, a master connector and collaborator. So of our event, we also have sponsors. So if you are a business and you are a coach, or you're a business and you would like your business to be recognized, we do have a package which is very, very reasonable to have your information provided to our audience. We're looking for you to connect with these coaches. That's what it's all about. It is not so much about the book, but we want to put you, the audience, in touch with these amazing coaches that have wealth of knowledge to help you through your transformation that's going to bring about a result, a positive result in your life. I'm Sandy Sanders. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank all you ladies. Y'all did. It was a wonderful night. I enjoyed it. Y'all gave so many nuggets. Coach Janine, I'll leave it up to you to end it.
Thank you so much, Christina. That was wonderful, wonderful again. I'm just going to also share that something with our French viewers, so they'll be listening and be able to connect with all these wonderful leaders that we had tonight who gave us a very great nugget. So thank you again, Dr. Sandy, Dr. Tammy, and Dr. Kamala, for this amazing, amazing nugget you gave us tonight. Thank you for my co-host, Coach Tina. God bless you. And aujourd'hui, nous avons parlé avec Dr. Kamala, nous avons parlé avec Dr. Sandy et puis aussi Dr. Tammy. Ils nous ont parlé de plus important surtout, ils nous ont dit comment nous devons négocier. Nous ne devons pas négocier notre liberté. En étant un leader, nous devons vraiment se faire violence pour avoir du temps d'écouter ce que le Seigneur dit parce que nous sommes toujours en train de donner. Nous donnons toujours à toutes ces personnes. C'est plus important en tant que leader que nous puissions s'asseoir et puis surtout, moi, j'ai parlé de comment déléguer. C'est très important en tant qu'un leader, comment tu vas déléguer, comment est-ce que tu vas parler et tu vas laisser le temps afin que tu puisses prendre le temps avec le Seigneur, afin d'écouter ce qu'il te dit comme instruction dans 2024. Et Dr. Kamene nous a parlé comment est-ce qu'avec le stress, tu dois être en mesure de voir comment est-ce que tu dégages et tu fais sortir ce stress parce que même les gens avec qui tu travailles, ils sont en train de te regarder. Donc, c'est très important pour toi de voir et de refaire sortir cela dans le moindre des choses et prendre le temps pour toi parce que tu dois te concentrer en tant qu'un leader. Et Dr. Tammy nous en parlait comment est-ce que deux fois nous résistons. Cette résistance, elle est très importante de savoir que deux fois même ça vient de nous. Ça ne vient pas seulement du dehors, mais ça vient de nous. Donc, il faut savoir comment gérer ça. Et Dr. Tam et Dr. Sandy a parlé comment est-ce que nous devons toujours donner le positif, être intentionné en tant que leader, c'est très, très, très important. Donc, nous étions vraiment bénis. Ça nous reste maintenant 2 jours. Demain, day 4 et puis day 5, ça sera le mardi. N'hésitez pas vraiment de se joindre à nous avec le Global Leadership Challenge. Merci beaucoup. Que le Seigneur vous bénisse. All right. Thank you so much, Christina, everybody, ladies. And
thank you.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Yeah. So join us if you can.
All right. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.